And as you can see, it's Sunday, and I'm out here working, not watching the Raiders game, not watching the Texans, no basketball, no golf, nothing like that. But today, we're back working on the 2017 Kia Optima that belongs to my daughter, and we were having an overheating issue. The first thing we did was replace the thermostat in the vehicle, and that seemed not to alleviate the problem. So we didn't have any leaks, anything like that. Got the whole thing off. Good man, good man. Got it all off, huh?
Yeah.
And we didn't have any leaks, any issues, anything like that. So what we did was moved on to the next thing. And the next thing was this water pump here. So my son is going to be putting it on. I'm going to be doing the filming. And he's going to explain to you all that he had to take off the little alignment dial that was on the other water pump. He had to take it off, and he put it in the water pump here, replaced the alignment dial in the water pump here. So he's going to put it back on, and we're going to do some filming. For once, I'm not going to be the star of the show. So here we go. And for all you don't know, this one here was a factory. It had a plastic gear on it, and the replacement has a metal gear on it. As you can see, it's a little bit larger in diameter, the metal gear versus the plastic gear. And so if you all don't know that sometimes when they have a plastic gear on them, when they get hot, they tend to slip. So we're just following the chain of command. There was no water in the oil or anything like that. As you can see, there's no water in the oil. As evident of it would be getting coolant in the combustion chamber or coolant in the crankcase. So we don't have any of that. We don't have any coolant contamination in the reservoir, anything like that. So we're going to be putting this back on there, and that's what we'll be doing. You gonna be able to get it? That's what I would suggest. Put the gasket on first. As you can see, all of my boys are mechanics. They love to work on stuff. And God bless me with another son. He's actually my son-in-law, and this is my daughter's husband. So he's putting the gas back in there. It came with a regular gasket here that's embossed with metal, and so you didn't want to reuse that. So he's going back, putting the gasket on there, and then he'll be putting the pump on there. Just want you to see. That's why it's important to replace the gasket, because the gasket is it's metal, and it's like a one-time use. Yeah, huh? Well, you hold the camera and I'll do it. You just do the filming, and I'll do that. So the weep hole goes here. The weep hole goes at the top of it. And as you can see, it does not protrude through. It does not protrude through the housing. But the weep hole is so whenever you start getting coolant from inside the inside seal here on the shaft, that it will leak out there and you'll be able to see it. Now this is a machine fit. So what you don't want to do, even though you may be tempted to, you don't want to put any grease. I mean, you don't want to put any glue on that gasket. That gasket has a raised lip on it. Whenever you have a metal gasket that has a raised lip on it, and it is embossed like that, then you tighten it down, but you don't put any glue on it. That's the way you do that. No glue is to be put on this gasket here at all. So as you can see, if my son will bring you back up to the top of it, you see that we have the water pump in. I'm gonna go ahead on and put the rest of the bolts in and tighten it down. Now this car, on this particular vehicle here, the belt on it does not have a tensioner for the water pump. The belt for the water pump is a direct belt from the crankshaft to the water pump pulley, and the tension is made up for between the two of those by the stretching of the belt. So we're gonna put it back together and we're gonna check it out, and if we have any more problems out of it, then what we're gonna do is go back and get that belt. We're gonna get that belt and replace the belt on it, because we needed to replace the water pump anyway for a better design. But if anything else comes up, that belt will be getting replaced. That will be the next item that we will do, and it's an easy fix with the belt, because all you have to do is take the serpentine belt off, which is what goes from the crankshaft, the alternator, and the AC compressor. So we just take that off, and we have direct access to this belt here, and it's nothing new. On me and my son, we both share 2014 Chevrolet Silverados, and if you looked at the 5.3s and the 6.0s on those vehicles, the AC compressor on them does not have a tension on it. It's direct, and so when the belt goes to slipping, then you just pull it off and replace it. So that's nothing new. A lot of car manufacturers, they do this exact same thing. So this is nothing new right here, and it's pretty. It works well because keeps you from a lot of comebacks when you're dealing with something like that. I mean, that's great. I mean, it's the belt has tension on it. It doesn't have a lot of flex to it and stuff like that, and so you're able just to put it on there, and you'll see when I put it on. I'm going to show you all when I put it on there. When I grab the pulley and put the belt on it and everything, you all will get a chance to see all that right there. I'm going to show you all that. Get this last bolt up in here, and I can go back and tighten them up. Some guys will be tempted to, I mean, you take it off, put it on how you want it, but just remember, these are 1/4-inch bolts, and these bolts are fine thread. You don't have to go there and put 20 foot-pounds of torque on them, because if you do, you're gonna mess up. You don't have to do all that. They're not, they don't require all that. So while I'm here running my mouth, I'm gonna go and start tightening up these bolts. I'm gonna start with the bottom one first. I'm gonna start with the bottom one, and then I'm gonna walk my way around with them. Bam, that's it right there. All you need, nothing more than that. Real easy job. Real easy job, especially when you got the right tools. It's easy job. I tell you all the time, I spend a lot of money on tools. Because I'm always working on something. And so a lot of times I'll use hand tools over power tools, just depending on what it is I'm working on. Okay, and we got one more right here. Okay, and that's the last one. Now, here we are here. It's the start of the show. This little pulley there. Remember I told you it's interference fit? So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn the water pump. The water pump. Is that the water pump for here? Let me see some. Man, that motherfucker ain't turning. It ain't turning.
Huh?
It ain't turning. That water pump ain't turning. Take that motherfucker back off. It ain't turning. You sure that's the right one?
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker ain't turning. And it's supposed to turn. No, it's supposed to turn.